Hi, I'm Lindsay, and a recent survivor of severe traumatic brain injury with a shockingly dangerous Glasgow coma scale of 3. And I'm a miracle. I'll dive into details on what that all means in this video, but I want to start off with why I'm here. So, number one, I hope to inspire optimism in other survivors of tragic accidents or illnesses, their caretakers, and the medical staff who treats said survivors, because miracles do occur, and very few others go out and broadcast them like I am. And I think that optimism and inspiration for both survivors and healers is critical to achieving healthy success. I want to, number two, alert people about the scale of traumatic brain injury, because there are 2.5 million of them per year in the U.S. alone, and very few know anything about it. Number three, I'm hoping to find a neuroscientist or TBI researcher who wants to delve into why the heck I've healed so uncommonly well, and hopefully we can spread that solution and implement it to other survivors. 4, I want to meet other miracle survivors of any condition and form a posse of powerful do-gooders that spread beauty, instill hope, and kick butt. So, about 2.5 million traumatic brain injuries happen every year in the U.S. Only 10% of them are severe. So what happened to me? April 19th of 2021, I was biking around the block in San Diego. It was a straight road in a nice suburban neighborhood with 4 lanes, 2 in each direction, and cars parked along the curb. I was rear-ended by an SUV that was going about 40 miles per hour. If you Google that, 0% survive. When the ambulance came to get me, I had a GCS, Glasgow Coma Scale, of 3. So all brain injury patients get a GCS. It runs from 3, which is completely unresponsive and brain dead, to 15, responsive and functioning. Severe TBIs are a GCS of 3 to 8. And data varies on this a smidge, but generally patients with a GCS of 3, 89% of them die within 30 days of their accident. 7% are permanently comatose, and 4% have permanent physical or neurological damage. That totals to 100%. A generic Google search states that GCS3 has an extremely high mortality rate and there's no chance of survival. I haven't yet found any data stating how many survive and heal well. I know that it's less than 1%, but is it 0.3% or is it 0.00001%? Unsure. But I can assure you that doctors are shocked that I'm alive and astounded that I'm somehow walking and talking clearly. So I had broken multiple bones and I had multiple surgeries, including 3 separate brain surgeries. I was in the hospital for 5 months. 10 weeks in Scripps Memorial Hospital in San Diego, and then I was flown via medevac to New Jersey for an additional 3 months in 2 separate JFKs. My first day in the hospital, I received a 12-hour surgery. This is unusual, as most people's organs can't survive under anesthesia for that long, so it would normally be 4 separate 3-hour surgeries. Just another notable reason why it pays to be a healthy athletic type, folks. Strong organs contribute to saving your life. Yet even after that, within a week, the medical staff told my parents I would not survive. The third brain injury was to embed a shunt. It's a pipe that goes from your skull down to your abdomen, and you can feel it. If you touch there, yeah, and then, oh, yep, I feel that. It's a magnetic pump that moves the building up fluid from your brain to the rest of your body if you have hydrocephalus. Only 2% of TBI survivors get a shunt, so this is rare. I got mine because my parents are staunch advocates. There's a long list of evidence for this, but in this one case, they happened to notice that I was declining. This was a time when I couldn't speak, and I didn't recognize my parents. I couldn't clothe myself, yet somehow they noticed my improvement was waning. They mentioned this to the medical staff and were informed that TBI healing is cyclical and they shouldn't be concerned about the ups and downs. My parents requested a CT scan. They were denied, so they pulled strings. They climbed the ladder. They demanded a CT scan. Medical staff begrudgingly complied, and they immediately saw hydrocephalus. And they gave me a surgery an hour later to implant the shunt. So hydrocephalus is the buildup of fluid inside the cavities of the brain. And because your brain is inside your skull and the skull doesn't change shape, if fluid is building up, your brain shrinks. And it's absolutely fatal if not treated. So, go my parents and Scripps medical team. The shunt is permanent. This means every year for the rest of my life, I need a CT scan and to see a neurosurgeon. And because its function is magnetic, I'm supposed to avoid x-rays and MRIs. If I ever get one of those, I have to immediately go see a neurosurgeon to have the shunt recalibrated to functioning. By the way, the way the shunt functions, the lowest setting is actually the strongest pump, and the highest setting is the weakest pump. Hurts your head, huh? Mine is the lowest setting, which means my hydrocephalus cannot get worse because the shunt cannot work stronger. This is kind of concerning to me. Perhaps it's unwarranted, but it's a concern. There's obviously a lot more to mention about my treatment and time in the hospital and info on that second surgery. There are CT scans for any neuropractitioners who are interested and videos of my rather deliriousness and healing in the hospital, which I'll hopefully post or use in a future talk someday. Oh, and I was locked in a tent on my bed and had feeding tubes in my belly for 5 months. And though my accident was at the end of April, my first memory is in August. So I wasn't quite cognizant for many months. When I was discharged from the hospital at the end of September, medical staff thought I would always need a custom wheelchair, feeding tubes, and an at-home nurse. Fortunately, none of this is correct. I walked a few miles within a few weeks later. I'm rocking out at physical therapy. I'm shocking neurodocs that are astounded by my progress when they see me walk in the door. They do double takes when they read my medical records. Last week, I finally got a neuropsych review, and I'm now finally permitted to bike and drive again. So this past week, a friend came to visit, and we went kayaking, snorkeling, dancing, and biking. So yay! This all sounds positive, right? Absolutely it is. And my healing has been undeniably miraculous, and I so hope to find a neuroscientist who wants to delve into why the heck I've healed so well, so we can emulate the solution to others. But, just to take the cherry off the top, I'll share some of the perpetuating downsides. I smashed open my skull on the curb, so I got this scar from that. Brain surgery cut open my skull here. So I have a trough all across there with a little divot. Initially, it felt like a hole, and I couldn't feel the bottom, but it's healed, so now it's more of a pothole. The shunt you can feel with your hands, and it'll take a lifelong maintenance. Some vertebrae and some ribs broke. Also, I had a single implant, breast implant, and it split open and emptied. So, vanishing implant. My hair was always down to my waist, and they shaved it for brain surgery. So now I'm just kind of figuring out, like, what the heck do I do with this? My pelvis broke, and now my hips are pinned to my pelvis. So I'm not allowed to do splits. I need to learn if that's forever or is that temporary. I like to do splits. I am frequently dizzy. It's either abating or I'm getting used to it. But for a few months, I felt like I drank a bottle of wine if I went for a walk. Then half a bottle, then just a glass of wine. And I'm a lightweight, so that's all kind of a lot for me. My pituitary gland was punctured. I don't know where that is. So now my thyroid doesn't function well, and I'm on meds for that. My nose was broken and were my eye sockets, both eye sockets. So now I need glasses, and also my eyes are asymmetrical. I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell? I can usually tell. So that's odd to me, and a little disturbing because I really liked my eyes before. I also have cognitive disabilities. Oh, speaking of eyes, it hurts if I look at a digital screen for more than an hour. So computer, phone, can't really look at it long. I need a break after. Unsure how that will perpetuate. I have cognitive disabilities and a perpetual cough. Though I was taunted with the opinion of cognitive disabilities for months, I took that neuropsych exam last week where I illustrated frequent challenges in executive function. So I'm in therapy for that, and hopefully it will improve. I was a frequent backcountry skier, and I taught crevasse rescue, and I've summited many peaks above 12,000 feet, and last year I learned to kite surf. Fun stuff. All these magical activities have high potential for head injury, so I suspect I won't be able to return to those sports. I don't believe in pharmaceuticals, but I'm on quite a few of them. Some are to prevent seizures. Apparently, chance of seizure increases after TBI and lasts forever. And some of the medicine is for depression. Theoretically, tension, anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder increases after TBI. Though I must say, counterintuitively, I am so grateful every day to still be alive. Despite the wars, poverty, climate change, chaos, the world is a beautiful place. And keep in mind, not every disability is visible. Brain injury is often invisible, one of the many that are. Hopefully, this was educational to you. There's a lot more to delve into. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. I expect to create more content, predicated by the number of followers here. Certainly, I'll expand more upon my healing journey. I'm currently living with my parents for the first time since I was 18, so there's much insight there. I'll return to living on my own again this summer, and I live on a boat that I purchased and renovated in Seattle. So that's fun. There's much about this ongoing saga of arbitrarily reaching out to neuro practitioners on a quest to find one that wants to research my unprecedented healing. And I'm also seeking case studies that I can be involved in, and that's intriguing. There's also videos of me entertainingly delirious in the hospital. Plus, I can interview, or I hope to interview, friends and family that visited me there while I was still not conscientious, and hoping to do interviews with my current medical staff in this healing journey. Plus, I'd like to produce photo presentations about my past. I traveled solo around Southeast Asia for 6 months, trekked in the Himalayas with magical humans I encountered to Everest and Annapurna base camps. I joined a bicycle tour from Vietnam through Cambodia to Thailand, and I've had many, many mountain adventures. Plus, the more subscribers, the more likely I am to get this in front of a neuroscientist who wants to research my healing and connects me to other magically medically healed individuals. So please, do me a favor and subscribe, or like this video, or share it with other people, or comment below. You can also message me if you have a private comment. Do let me know if there's anything erroneous in this message, or give me tips on how to find folks who want to research this phenomenon, or where to find speaking opportunities. And if you are a miraculous survivor, please say hi.